Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. Today we have the 2013 Pay-Per-View Collection. After about 10 minutes adjusting this camera, trying to get these DVDs to stand up, finally got it. This is why I dislike the Eco cases. They're so flimsy. They're not completely straight like the harder plastic ones. Let's get right into this before they fall down again. With the Royal Rumble 2013, The Rock would be around fairly often in this time period. Spoiler cover. We got finally with The Rock, spinner belt, and this would be one of the last appearances of the spinner title. I think that's more generic discard for the Royal Rumble. So we would have The Rock versus CM Punk for the WWE title, John Cena winning the Rumble for the second time, and this would lead up to The Rock versus Cena 2 at WrestleMania 29, this time for the WWE title. We also had Team Hell No as WWE Tag Team Champions. Alberto Del Rio versus The Big Show. This was a fun Rumble. I always liked that show. I'm a pretty big fan of the Rock CM Punk matches. Here we have the rematch at Elimination Chamber. The Rock just looks so weird with the spinner title. And I believe it was either before this show or a little bit after this show, The Rock would introduce the new WWE Championship. So we got The Rock versus CM Punk. We got a 6-man tag team match. Cena, Ryback, and Sheamus versus The Shield. And an Elimination Chamber match for the winner challenging the World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania. Spoiler alert, Jack Swagger wins. We got Cesaro versus The Miz. Del Rio versus The Big Show. So this was another pretty good show. I think 2013 definitely has its ups and downs. WrestleMania 29, regarded as one of the worst WrestleManias. Although I'm a big fan of this WrestleMania logo. And this is one of the only times we got a 2-disc digipack. Especially for a Blu-ray. You don't see that too many times. But, we got The Rock versus Cena. We got Orton, Sheamus, and Big Show versus The Shield. Ryback versus Mark Henry. Team Hell No versus Ziggler and Big E. Jericho versus Fandango. Del Rio versus Swagger. Taker versus CM Punk. Lesnar versus Triple H. And The Rock versus Cena. We also had Wade Barrett versus The Miz on the pre-show. And the next night, Ziggler would cash in his Money in the Bank. He should have done it at WrestleMania, man. That would have been an awesome moment. I may do another video kind of rebooking WrestleMania 29. But Triple H went over Lesnar here after their SummerSlam match. Also have some Blu-ray exclusives here. I love the Digipack style for the Blu-ray. Like I said, never seen that enough times. And there they all go. Extreme Rules 2013. I actually really liked that cover. Thought this was a decent event. Got Lesnar versus Triple H, the final match in their little feud. We got Sheamus versus Mark Henry. We got The Shield winning all the titles, tag and US. The Miz versus Cody Rhodes. We got Ryback versus Cena. Decent event overall. Or pretty good, actually. One of the better shows from this year. Then we had Payback 2013. Not a fan of this cover at all. Payback just seemed like one of the cheapest names they could come up with. Even Backlash sounds better than this. Payback. You know you're in the PG era when you see a Payback pay-per-view. This might be the first Payback event, if it matters. if anyone cares. So CM Punk took a little sabbatical after WrestleMania. He's returning here in Chicago versus CM Punk versus Jericho. Sorry, Ziggler versus Del Rio for the world title. Ziggler was out with a concussion at Extreme Rules. Here he's back. I think he drops the title to Del Rio. Got Ambrose versus Kane. Got 3 Stages of Hell match. Cena and Ryback. That was a really good match with the ambulance match and whatnot. We have AJ Lee as Divas champion in her match versus Caitlyn. Money in the Bank 2013. Decent event. Really cool cover, you know, just everyone trying to grab the briefcase. Always like that. Those little shots like that. Really cool disc art. And these must have been former rentals. Rob Van Dam came back for a little run in 2013. We got John Cena versus Mark Henry. This was around the time of the fake retirement with Mark Henry. And we had a Money in the Bank ladder match for the WWE Championship contract. And a Money in the Bank ladder match for the World Heavyweight Championship contract. So, if we look even a year prior, I think they just call it the Raw World Heavyweight Championship contract, Money in the Bank ladder match, so, and then the Raw Money in the Bank ladder match. Why can't they just call it a Money in the Bank ladder match for the WWE title? It's a contract match. Then we had Del Rio versus Ziggler, Jericho versus Ryback. Not the best Money in the Bank. SummerSlam in 2013. We got a spoiler cover here. Really good show overall. We, of course, had Lesnar and CM Punk. We had Bray Wyatt, I believe, his first pay-per-view appearance. Unless he was at Money in the Bank. Don't think he was. But the cool thing I forgot to mention about Money in the Bank was they had kind of this, all-star lineup here with RVD, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and so on. We also had a awesome championship match. Daniel Bryan versus John Cena. Christian and Del Rio was okay. And this was the Ring of Fire match. And then Randy Orton cashes in. A lot of people were PO'd about that. Night of Champions 2013. This is Authority at its best. You know, they're using their power to the max. We have CM Punk here versus Curtis Axel. Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton. And RVD versus Del Rio. Decent event. 2013, like I said, had its ups and downs. And the weird thing was the Authority took away the title the next night and said it was a fast count or whatever. Battleground 2013. Never really liked this cover. I don't understand it. Pretty cheap disc art. Payback and Battleground are like two of the worst pay-per-view names. Besides Stomping Grounds. But we had a third match between Bryan and Randy Orton. I believe so. Yeah, so we had, for the third time here, Orton versus Bryan. This is where Big Show turned heel. Got Del Rio versus RVD. CM Punk versus Ryback. I know he loved that feud. The Shield versus the Rhodes. We also got a match from Monday Night Raw. It's pretty rare we get a bonus match from Raw, especially in this era of DVD releases. It seemed like as time goes on, we get less and less DVD extras, so that's really cool. That's the Rhodes, Daniel Bryan and Goldust versus the Shield. Hell in a Cell 2013. I always like this pay-per-view. We got Shawn Michaels as the referee, Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan for the third straight pay-per-view, not including SummerSlam. So this time Orton's actually defending the title versus Bryan. Pretty cool discard, actually. You know, usually for Hell in a Cell, we get like different. And here we had, I believe it was Ryback versus CM Punk. And then he finally gets his hands on Paul Heyman looking on top of the cell. Really cool visual. This is CM Punk's last year in WWE as well, his last full year. We have John Cena versus Del Rio, Hell in a Cell. It seems like they had a lot of matches at Hell in a Cell with Cena and Del Rio. I even believe in 2015 they had that open challenge where Cena lost to Del Rio the U.S. title. Daniel Bryan and Orton, fantastic. Looks like we got The Miz versus Kane. This was a pretty good show, actually. Love that cover. I always say I love the poster artwork along with the action shots. This is kind of the best of both. I also am not a fan of all these people on the spines. I would say once in a while it's okay, but I don't like it at all. One of the worst Survivor Series happened this year. We have John Cena and Del Rio and Randy Orton versus The Big Show. This was just awful. Orton and Big Show was awful. Look at that orange disc. That looks horrible. Pretty cool backing though. I believe this was a 2-on-3 just a tag team match. CM Punk and Daniel Bryan versus the Wyatts. We also got a couple, we got a 1 5-on-5, a 7-on-7, Total Divas versus non-Total Divas. Ryback versus Mark Henry again. Big E versus Curtis Axel for the IC title. And really bad show. I thought TLC was an improvement. Another spoiler cover with Randy Orton as the World Heavyweight Champion. So they decided to finally unify the titles. It's been 11 years. And it was about 2 or 3 years by this point that they were doing Raw Super shows. Ever since Raw 1000, I would say, consistently. Which by this point was a year and a half prior to this. So in 2011, 2012... about maybe 2 years prior to this, the brand split was flat in the water. But we had John Cena, Randy Orton for the WWE and World Heavyweight Championships in a TLC match. I actually really like that match. And Orton comes out on top. We got 2 3-on-1 handicap matches. Daniel Bryan versus the Wyatts, and CM Punk versus the Shield. So this is CM Punk's last match. You know, he was in the Rumble match, so that's his official last match, but this is like his last pay-per-view match before the Rumble. And I'm not sure anything else from here. So we had the 2 handicap matches and our world title matches, but no match listings on a lot of these. So there we have it, guys. The 2013 pay-per-view collection. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know some of your favorites from this year. I would say SummerSlam, the Rumble, Extreme Rules, and Hell in a Cell for me. TLC was decent as well. As always, we'll talk to you later. Peace.